Raila Odinga was loved and equally hated in equal measure. Now, do you think that we really need national healing and reconciliation?
Anybody who hated Raila Amolo Odinga hated him because they have never met him. But if you met Raila one-on-one, you would go back or out of that room singing his name.
Raila Odinga should be immortalized by having Maseno University converted to Raila Odinga University. Another option is that we can have Raila Odinga Memorial Library.
Do you believe that Kenya's young leaders then should support such coalitions like now what you're having as the broad-based? Or do you really think that they should then stand apart and push an entirely new political order?
When Raila left us,
Yes.
there are some things he was fighting for. Raila Odinga can be able to be included in the curriculum so that young people, even the future generations, they will be able to read about him. He left the country more united than it was when he was in opposition.
And we want to pray and tell the next leader who is going to take over ODM or who is going to sahi tuko bread boss. Hawezi jua hata Ruto anaweza ingia ODM kesho. It is okay to criticize the government so that they can do ABCD better. But it is not okay, and democratically is not okay to bring down your own government. We cannot afford to have a banana republic. Kama utaki William Ruto akuwe rais, wewe tumia kadi yako na kikushinda you must accept.
Thank you so much for joining this conversation, the Power Table. This is where we bring men and women of power to discuss power, to discuss politics, governance, economy, and all the issues that concern you, our viewer. Tonight on the Power Table, we bring two youths. One who has been here for some time, and of course, it's Dr. Anthony Manyara. And of course, we also have Sheikh. I'll be introducing them momentarily. And the conversation is about Raila Odinga. And the person of Raila Odinga has actually left a lot of issues being discussed. And probably through their lenses as youth leaders, we will get to understand what they think about now. And of course, after Raila's death, what it could probably mean. Now, for as long as most young Kenyans have been alive, one name has been part of major political headline, and that is Raila Amolo Odinga. Now, whether you loved him, challenged him, or didn't always understand him, you couldn't ignore him. It was a storm and the calm in Kenya's politics. Now, for the first time in decades, the country wakes up to a reality without Raila Amolo Odinga. And the question is simple but profound. What next? What does leadership look like when the old guard exits the stage? Who steps forward? And what kind of Kenya will this new generation build? Now tonight we are talking about history. We're talking about the future, the youth future. And joining me are two voices who represent that very energy. And the first guest is Neema, Sheikh Abdiqadir. Now she's the Vice Chair of Commonwealth Youth Council, representing voices, global voices of over 1.5 billion youths from Commonwealth countries. Well, and of course, we also have Dr. Anthony Manyara. He's the founder and chairman of the Youth Advocacy Africa, amongst many other titles. He has been known to be fighting for the rights of students from back in his days in student leadership. And of course, he's fought for students all over Africa, from Kenya, East Africa, and even beyond. These are the two youths that we are having here tonight, and of course having the conversation about how this political figure has actually impacted them and what they think of the future going forward. And permit me to begin by Sheikh Abdiqadir. Let's start right here. Now, for young leaders like yourself, who grew up in Raila's Kenya, when I say Raila's Kenya, is that you were born and bred in time where Raila was the enigma. How are you processing this?
Well, Thank you very much for inviting me to SPM Buzz.
Yes.
I am still mourning. Baba was a politician, was a party leader, was a father figure, was a father of democracy, among other names. But to me, I feel Baba treated me like his own daughter. Even though, back in the days, even during the time, in the year 2008, 2007, when Raila's politics was at the peak of, at the highest peak, I still remember, and I was a very young child, but I still recall, maybe I was in class 2 or 3, but I still recall the energy of the Wajir people, where I come from originally. Mm-hmm. How when you walked in households, you would see, the fruit orange. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know that I was going to be at any point in my life a political person, because I was a child. Mm-hmm. But I want to say right here today that I am a lucky daughter of the Northern and a lucky daughter of Kenya, yes, to have met the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, yes, to have been mentored by one Raila Amolo Odinga, yes, to have, circled wisdom, yes, from the enigma himself.
Yes.
Baba has taught a lot of Kenyans, a lot of things, has shaped this country.
Yes.
He has taught them to fight for their rights.
Yes.
He has taught them that it is the duty of the leaders, and it's not. We are not begging for leaders to work for their electorates. Yes. And I believe that even those who criticized Raila Amolo Odinga, even those who, let's say, hate is a big word, yes, who opposed his politics, are today mourning, because they will never, ever be another Raila Amolo Odinga.
They'll never experience a man like Raila again.
They will never experience. And I must say that I feel for the people who did not meet Raila Odinga, because Raila was a father figure. And I don't know which other political figure or party leader will adapt us, the young people and the youth of this country, as a father. He would listen to you as a father, not a politician.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I know a lot of people are sad, from Turkana to Wajir to Mombasa to the whole of Kenya. Yes. And I want to believe that, wacha tuseme, God will guide us to the right direction. But as a young person, I feel I wish Raila had some more years, so that he can give us directions, so that he can give us wisdom, and we will miss him.
Let me come to you, Dr. Anthony Manyara. On the death of Raila Odinga, you see, Raila Odinga was an icon of politics, and he's been in the stage for over 40 years. So many young people like yourselves, that you would have said that they've wanted a space. They've wanted space in politics, not just talking roles. And probably I am wondering, and probably I'm tempted to ask that now that one of the politicians who really, how he commanded the political space, now that one of such person is now gone, do you think that the youth are really prepared to fill up those positions or rather the space that Raila Odinga has left?
First of all, thank you so much, Kwach, for hosting me in this beautiful show, SPM Buzz.
Yeah.
I would like, even before I answer your question, let me reflect back that me and Raila, I met him in 2017, when the elections of 2017 were taking place, or rather when people were campaigning for it. And I took over a position in Meru, representing NASA. As a young man, people had defected and gone to the opposite camp. And I saw it wise, because people coming from I come from Meru, so people coming from Igembe region, Lare, all those places, they had a serious, population which was supporting the opposition. I have interacted with this leader. And I'll tell you as a matter of fact, when you see people like Olusegun Obasanjo, when you see people like Nelson Mandela, all these people, they had very much towering praises for Raila Amolo Odinga. Even Obama himself respected Raila. Why? He was a special person. If Raila was born in the United States of America, I'll tell you as a matter of fact, he would have 2 terms as president because he was special. Sometimes our dreams are limited by the location where you come from. Even me myself, if I decide to vie as an MCA where I come from, my star, or rather my future will be limited by the location. That's why you see we have very serious leaders who contest in some various positions, but when they confine their dreams in a very small queer place, they don't achieve their dreams. Raila Odinga has mentored very many young people in this country. The greatest impediment of growth when it comes to young leaders is that the leaders we look up to, they are seasonal. Nowadays, you see a leader in your community who has been active for 5 years. After he's elected out, he vanishes to the thin air, like a fart in the wind. We need leaders who are consistent like Raila. Sometimes I even put myself in the shoes of Ida Odinga, who I might think in her own brain, after some time, she realized that she's not dealing with a normal human being. Every day you wake up, campaign. Every other day, campaign. Every other day you're on the top of the car doing campaigns, fighting for the people, without selfish interest. Anyway, back to your question. Quach. What is next for young people now that Raila has left us? Raila fought for multi-party democracy very aggressively and passionately. From 1992, we have seen even young thugs who are under his patronage fight for, the rights of the hoi polloi, the common masses, and they came out very successfully. That's why nowadays we enjoy the tenets of democracy and to the nooks and crannies of this country. Now, in my own opinion, young people still have a great chance. Remember, leadership is transitional. Because when Raila was starting his journey, when he was imprisoned for 6 years, when he came back strong, there is the power of resilience. And this is what we are telling even young people to adopt. If Raila has gone, there are so many young people who can take up the mantle. What we just need is to learn from its footsteps. And the precedents that Raila has set for young people in this country, it is carved in stone. It is in our thoughts. Remember, this is the only person in the entire history of Africa and the entire world who has been in opposition consistently and who has remained very influential in their own country. Now, if you look at Tanzania and Uganda, right now, political leaders, where are they? Most of them imprisoned. Others either, silenced to life. So, in my own opinion, the youth still have a chance to reclaim their glory and even to fight for what Raila was fighting for.
But, quite interesting how you actually, your tribute to Raila Odinga. But let me just ask you, my dear, do you think that the generation that you have lived in, that you live in, do they really understand the political, or rather the struggle of Raila Odinga? Have they really appreciated? Through your lenses, do you think that probably the youth that Raila has fought for, according to yourself, when you talk about democracy, talk about maybe constitutional reforms and so on, do you feel like the youth, or rather the Gen Z, really do appreciate what Raila Odinga has done for this country?
Yeah, thank you.
Or rather, have they really appreciated it even when he was alive?
Yeah, personally, as I'm speaking to you here, I'm a Gen Z, and I know that there are a lot of Gen Z or young people who have, really appreciated the struggles of Raila Amolo Odinga, who recognize there's no democracy without Raila Odinga. Kenya would not be where we are right now without Raila Amolo Odinga. And those who do not recognize, then are just ignorant. Because even if you go back to last year's Gen Z movement, you would see clips that were trending, where the young people were really telling Raila Amolo Odinga, you have fought for this country, step aside, let us help you. It is our time to help you push for the for the cause you are fighting for. So of course, and you have seen after Raila Amolo Odinga actually joined the government in what we call the broad-based government, then the young people come down. So if Raila did not have an influence on us young people, the country will not be where it is right now. The tension was really high. And Raila came into broad-based government, and so many young people became calm, and they were waiting for his directions. So and I would categorically say that anybody who does not recognize what Raila has fought for, who does not celebrate Raila's contribution to this country, then is indeed an ignorant and an imbecile young person, because we wouldn't be where we are, and we wouldn't have the freedom we have, even the freedom of you, a young person, going on Twitter and just insulting the sitting president of the Republic of Kenya, and nothing is done to you because of democracy. And that is what Raila has fought for. So I know young people recognize Raila, and we will not allow his legacy to die. And as Dr. Manyara said here, we shall continue to live by the wisdom and the knowledge Raila has given us.
Quite interesting, and probably you'd want to say something about it, but still I'd love to ask you a question, because the way our politics has been is that our politics somehow, to some extent, has been around individuals, like the person who Raila Odinga was. Of course, we appreciate the great work that these political figures have done, but to a large extent, our politics were around people. Raila Odinga, if Raila Odinga could say, "Uyu tosha, Manyara tosha," then Manyara is tosha indeed. If Raila Odinga said this is the way, and people would actually follow it. And the dynasties have actually been greatly also consistent in our politics. You look at the Moise family, the Kenyattans family, the Odinga's family. They indeed have a political constituency that they control to date. With the passing of Raila Odinga, do you think that probably something has changed a bit, or probably this may go on into the future?
Thank you so much, Coach.
Yes.
First of all, there's a book I treasure so much, which I've learned from. It's by Will and Ariel Durant. It is called The Lessons of History. And what I've learned is that in every country, in every faction, people are presented with choices. And here for Kenya, political parties play a big role. You're given choices out of political parties. Political parties form a government.
Okay.
Now, Raila had a party, and he's a strong man. You see, a party can be led by sheep and head nowhere. How many parties we have now in Kenya? Quite a number, right?
Yes.
More than 100 political parties.
Yeah, sure.
Now, if you have the hand of the party not being influential, the party will head nowhere. Raila Odinga led a very strong party, ODM. Every time he creates a party of his own, he knows how to walk the talk. He knows how to lead his people to the goal that he has set. Now, in Kenya, however, you're very controversial, even as a young person, even as an influential leader. Without channeling yourself with the right political party, your voice will be useless. So, in my own opinion, Raila is strong, and he has always, endorsed a candidate and has won time and again because he's an institution. He's representing a political party. A political party which has members. Sometimes young people ignore. Even right now, people are being mobilized to register as voters. How many people in Kenya right now has registered as voters have registered as voters. I know very well there's something we call voter apathy. Now, whenever you leave yourself out of, the voting process, you deny yourself a chance of your voice being heard. So, in my own opinion, what we should do is to learn from Raila. Raila was visionary. He knew very well. He knew the cards to hold to get political power. Even though he didn't get presidency, he was always, around power because he had masses behind him. So you get that power through a political party.
Yes.
You organize yourself. That is why people even in ODM right now, they are fighting over the political party. And I'm sure there will be a lot of rifts, there will be a lot of wrangles and so forth, people creating their own political parties and so forth. But I will tell you as a matter of fact, no matter how you create your own political party and push it forward, without, the oomph, without you having that intrinsic kind of, kind of assets of you moving the masses, of you having a vision which people can believe in and pushing you to the end. Trust me, it's just a fool's errand. So just to answer your question and to conclude, I'll just say young people have a unique chance. Because I'm young,
yes,
and I know very well, I'm speaking for very many young people.
Yes.
What they need to understand is this: there's nothing which is given on a silver platter.
Quite interesting.
They have to organize themselves like Raila did.
Yes.
When he was in 1982, when he came out of prison,
yes,
he came up with young people, the likes of Orengo.
Yes.
They sat down, they realized, how do you get political power? Through political parties.
Okay.
Now, through those political parties, you mobilize your young people to have a voter's card.
Yeah.
And they mobilize them to indeed vote.
Yeah.
They were fighting for something.
Yes.
Multi-party democracy.
Okay.
Right now we have economic sabotage.
Sabotage.
All these problems we are facing,
Yes,
they should be able to mount enough
okay,
to fuel rage amongst the young people,
okay,
for them really to look for political power through a voice of their own, a political party.
And this is quite interesting because when you talk about the young people having rage and then even the determination and the mojo, whatever, just to run and propel a political aspiration or ambition until they achieve what they want. This begs the question of what, because a person like Raila Odinga is actually, they've been championing courses on politics for the longest time while still young. But this begs the question that most of the young people currently, they are actually the generation, they're accused of being only active online or politically online. And most of them have still remained indifferent to the extent that some of them do not have voter cards. They don't want to vote. They do not see the need of voting. But of course they do a lot of yapping online. So they will, even some of them will even protest online.
Yeah.
A lot. But now taking action is where they draw the line. Is this really the case? And going forward, is this something that probably may change?
Well, Kwach, I must admit that a lot of young people, they often complain a lot. But where we miss the point is, what is our duty as young people? What can we do right? We can't always be complaining, and we can't always be, pinpointing on where the problem is coming from. So now we have the problems. What are the solutions? As a young person, you know that this country is governed by the rule of law. And you know that it is your democratic right to vote for whoever you want. So in between, the only thing that is going to hinder you from not getting the leader you want or the president you believe in is by not voting or by not taking the voters registration card. And therefore, I must admit that is where as young people we do things wrong. And I want to urge the young people, and I want to urge the Gen Z. They have really done a very marvelous work by championing for a lot of things, even in the past 1 year. But moving forward, the same energy you had is the same energy we need as young people to use to ensure that every young person above the age of 18 has a voter registration card. And it is our duty to go to mashinani, to go pale ambayo, like for me, like for instance, I come from a community where we are nomadic. They're moving from one place to another. So you won't find the same group of people who are there maybe 3 months ago because due to drought and all those things, and they're taking their animals to the other side where the grass is greener. So we need, as leaders and as young people, to go uko mashinani.
Yes.
We go with these IEBC officials to ensure that those people who do not understand, who are illiterate, know the importance of having the voters registration card.
Okay.
And the young people, you cannot only be keyboard warriors. Msitumike vibaya kutukana rais ama serikali ambayo inasaidia nchi.
Yes.
Na serikali works in a very mysterious way that a lot of people don't understand.
Okay.
That it is okay to criticize the government so that they can do ABCD better.
Okay.
But it is not okay,
Okay.
and democratically is not okay to bring down your own government.
Okay.
We cannot afford to have a banana republic.
Okay.
We cannot afford to become refugees.
Okay.
Kenya has hosted a lot of refugees in the past years. We have seen countries, our neighbor countries like Sudan, Somalia, South Sudan, and all these countries who are our neighbors suffer from the consequences of bringing down their country.
Okay.
So we will not allow that to happen.
Okay.
But you can as well use this opportunity to criticize the government correctly. And when it is time for voting, then let your card and your voter registration card speak for you.
Okay.
Unaona, kama utaki William Ruto akuwe rais, wewe tumia kadi yako na akikushinda you must accept.
And Manyara, let me just ask you this based on what she has actually said, because in the weeks before Raila's passing, we saw growing talks of broad-based government and the power-sharing model, which was actually meant to unite the country. But in practice, now the youth voices often get lost in these elite deals, would not really understand or know what do the youths really want in this. And probably you are here when you were having a conversation about the conclave, that Raila, the intergenerational conclave that Raila was bringing about. But my question is that, do you believe that Kenya's young leaders then should support such coalitions like now what you're having as the broad-based? Or do you really think that they should then stand apart and push an entirely new political order? What do you make of right now? Should they now form a new thing or support this cause that Baba has said iko sawa?
Okay, in my own opinion, Kwach, is that when Raila left us, there's some things he was fighting for towards the end of his life.
Yes.
And I believe also, sometimes when you're growing old, you can be able to prophesy a few things.
Yes.
You can be able to know how do you want to live. I believe Raila knew very well he's getting weak and so forth. And he was trying to secure the future. He was trying to see how you leave his name. So he left the country more united than it was when he was in opposition. I'm saying this because I was heading what we call MDD, Movement for the Defense of Democracy, an idea which I came up with, and we approached Raila. I was in Azimio as one of the youth leaders, the key champions for his election in 2022. Even when you look at history, history, my organization, Youth Advocacy Africa, was petitioner number 2 in terms of the election, the process. I'll tell you as a matter of fact that Raila Odinga wanted a peaceful country. And that is how he has left it. And that is his key legacy, because most of the people that he fought with, they're already in government. Some of us were left outside the government. We didn't really, we didn't come to terms with whether the government already has absorbed the opposition.
Yes.
But I'll tell you, the generational conclave or rather the intergenerational kind of dialogue, you know, that kind of merging.
Yeah.
I was here the other day and I told you, Raila Odinga is fighting to ensure that young people are included in the agenda of the old. Sometimes we say that the youth is wasted on the young. But I tend to believe that wisdom also sometimes is wasted on the old. Because the same people who came up with those ideas of young people bridging the gap between themselves and the old, they're still in government. What we fear is that they will forget the agenda that Raila set precedence on, which was to address the key problems which young people are facing: unemployment, desperation, a lot of economic sabotage, all these kind of problems that young people face, even inclusion itself. Remember, even right now, tribalism has not eroded. So, in my opinion, what the government needs to do is to respect Raila's last wishes, which were to ensure also young people are included in the tenets of democracy, or rather the country, how it is framed. The cake is big. All of us are taxpayers. All we expect is the government to come forward. They rejuvenate that idea of Raila bringing the intergenerational conclave. We sit down, we come up with problems to address concerns, so that young people also can get opportunity. Remember, there are so many young people who are graduating from TVETs, those are technical institutions. From the universities, they don't have jobs. They are still out there. 10 years down the line, they still don't have jobs. A lot of desperation. There are so many people who have been doing internships, I don't know from way long. All these people need some kind of transition. This is a country which is blessed. There is abundance kind of opportunities. So as a person who has been in this space for the young people for a long time, I believe what we need to do and to trust the government in this feat is that they need to come up with a intergenerational contract whereby it is binding. Young people have the money. They push this agenda to the very last. We set objectives of that contract. Now that there is already a budget for it, these kind of key objectives, we need to realize them. We are guided by terms of reference. We need to know the time frames. This contract is binding between, let's say, January 2026, maybe to December 2026. And all these collective ideas which are coming from the old and the young, they need to meet somewhere at a central place whereby we can be able to effect ideas, ideologies, and opportunities which can be able to bring this country together.
Wow. Interesting.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let me ask you, post-Raila, what kind of leadership do you wish to see emerge?
Okay. I'm not going to speak for the country. I'm going to speak for all the women leaders out there and the young people out there. We are looking for a party leader or a leader who is going to, fight for the women. Because if we look at politics, it is not easy to make it politically as a woman. Even though I'm not trying to be a feminist, but Raila had his own way of making sure women feel important.
You remember of ODM?
Yes, I was. I was a member of ODM.
Are you still a member?
I will answer that another day. But I was a member of ODM. I tried to vie with ODM in my county, Wajir. And I remember vividly when Raila, the Right Honorable Raila Molo Odinga came to Wajir, he held my hand and said, "This is my daughter. She fought for the students nationally. And are you ready to give them?" Mko tayari kumpea kiti ya kuwakilisha wanawake katika Wajir County. So nilisimama women rep kule na party, my party ODM then found it wise not to give me the ticket at that particular time. It's boardroom politics, and I have accepted the outcome because I know God's time is the right
So
time.
the person who got the ODM ticket won.
One.
Okay.
So I believe that if the ODM ticket was given to me, because Wajir was an ODM zone, then I would definitely today be seated here with you, Coach, as a member of parliament from Wajir County.
Okay.
Unfortunately, that didn't happen. So the next party leader, we are looking for a leader who is going to accommodate a young people, the women of this country. The women of this country, women leaders of this country must feel equally recognized, equally important, the way Baba made us feel. We must be given these opportunities. We must be given these platforms, because it is not easy to make it in politics. We cannot compare to men. It's mostly, there's this kind of view people have, even hata kule ground ukifika. Nikisema sahi na vai kama Wajir East Member of Parliament, watu wataniambia hiyo position ya wanaume, lakini constitutionally I'm allowed to vie. You get what I mean? So we need a leader who is going to make sure everyone is included, the marginalized, the young, the women of this country.
Okay.
Inclusion is my major my major point that I'm going to really emphasize on the next.
Quite interesting. Let me come to you, Manyara, and actually based critically, tied a bit with what she's actually talking about. And you see, after Baba left, then we're now seeing scramble for influence within ODM, Azimio, and even among Ruto's allies, actually. Some of them who are trying to even maybe control what should happen in ODM. So probably at this moment, how do you even think that the youth now should even position themselves in these realignments? Now, should you think, because we have young people in ODM, or in Azimio, but let's talk about ODM. We have Babu, Edwin Sifuna, some of them who have different ideas compared to some of the people or rather some of the leaders within ODM. What do you think they should do? Do you think that then they should build a fresh youth-driven political movement from the ground up, based on now what you said, that it will need a lot of work? And do you even think that those young people, they have got the political muscle to do that from the ground up, or should they then fight within the party to find a chance for themselves? What do you think?
Now, in the African tradition of society,
yes,
the most apparent thing that comes to mind when someone dies is inheritance.
Yeah.
What do you get from the person who has left us?
Yeah.
One of the key things that Raila didn't leave is inheritance of his political party. So what we have now are orphans, what we call political orphans. So many people are scrambling for power in ODM. And I will tell you for free, there are so many people who lose positions. The fact that Baba anasema, hey, tosha, huyu tosha, Manyara tosha, Neema Sheikh tosha. Now, Raila is gone. Yes, nimegushika mkono, wewe chukua ikiti. Now, after Raila is gone, I'm very sure there are so many people who lose positions.
Yeah.
Based on that alone. Because there are some people who even didn't campaign where their backyard, their hinterlands. They didn't campaign there. But they were just coming there to just, swear themselves in and so forth. But in my own political opinion, Sifuna comes up as a very strong guy in ODM.
Yes. That
That one I must respect.
Yeah.
But who knows? Maybe it was just because of the party, the ODM.
Yeah.
Someone who comes very much towering from ODM is Babu. And that is one of the key people who will sustain themselves, whether with the party or without the party.
Okay.
And I believe in Babu Owino so much because, like I told you privately as my good friend, Babu inspired us from primary school, high school. When I was in high school, I told myself one day I will come and be a leader like Babu Owino.
Yeah.
And I tell you, as a matter of fact, something that has been in Raila Odinga, which is even in my book, my new book, The Other Side of Hard, talks about resilience. Raila had resilience, and that is the same kind of thing that is imprinted in Babu's heart. Babu is very resilient. Trust me, you always read about him. Leo akona story, kesho akona story ingine. Because human beings, especially Kenyans, they forget. Leo umetrend, kesho wamesahau. So the best kind of thing is to rebrand yourself every day. And I remember when I came to the University of Nairobi, I saw Babu's status was written, work hard until you don't have to introduce yourself. You know.
Babu's
Status.
His status on WhatsApp has always been the same.
Work
so hard that you no longer have to introduce yourself. Yeah. Now, I'll tell you as a matter of fact, Kwach, myself, I came from high school, came to the University of Nairobi doing architecture. I participated in some elections with Babu Owino as my boss. And I came to succeed him. Nilisoma akiwa chairman nikiwa high school, na nikakuja nikamrithi as the chairperson of the University of Nairobi, Sonu. Came as the first UNSA chairperson. I'll tell you as a matter of fact what is going to happen in ODM. There will be a lot of politics and a lot of wrangles. They might want to eject Babu from the party because he's too ambitious. Sometimes, is it a sin to be ambitious really, Coach?
No.
It's not a sin. Babu Owino might be ejected out. They might feel he's too ambitious. He might tower, above them and so forth. But I'll tell you as a matter of fact, if votes today, they are voted correctly and they are counted. Indeed counted. Babu Owino, as at now, will be governor of Nairobi. That's a solid point. Now, whichever political party he takes, he still is poised to be the governor of Nairobi. This political party left a lot of orphans. Some of them who were incubated, they were, protected by the political party. Most of them won't get positions. Even me myself, I've seen an opening, for Senate for Nairobi.
Yes.
Hiyo time election ikifika, wale wenye walikuwa wamewekwa kama mayai na ODM, we will wrestle with them in the same ring. And I will tell you as a matter of fact, in Nairobi, people are wise. They have already seen that if you're a political leader, it is all about your ideology. People believed in Raila Odinga when he had nothing, when he was by himself. Those people who have incubated themselves, aligned themselves with political parties, when walikuwa naambiwa baba tosha, it's no longer that time. Watu wakiweka billboards 15, 20 in Nairobi, Manyara ataweka 40. Wakikuja na chama ingine, Manyara atakuja na chama ingine. So that is the kind of spirit we have. We'll be on the ring without any added advantage. It is our own sweat. Mimi niko na comrades, niko na young people. Wao watakuja sijui na kina nani. So, but my main spirit is people have to be independent. They bring their own manifesto. They mobilize their voters, they mobilize their supporters to contest, to vote. And there we go.
Okay.
Young people will have their voices.
Quite interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm actually enjoying this conversation.
Yeah.
Now, let me just ask you, because there's also a critical bit that I'd want to know. Raila Odinga was loved and equally hated in equal measure. Now, I think to some extent this calls for a rational healing and reconciliation, particularly for those people who hated him and those who loved him so much. And the hatred has grown within communities and so on and so forth. And I believe, Manyara, you were seeing some of these even online, probably. And where some were even saying that this leader should not visit this place because of what has happened and so on and so forth. Just because another leader, and that is Kahiga, made some remarks against the death of Raila. And this question goes to you. Now, do you think that we really need national healing and reconciliation? And then, if this is so, how should we go about it? Or do you think this is nothing, it's just the politicians playing games? And what do you make of it?
Well, Coach, I would say
a genuine healing.
I would really say this, that anybody who hated Raila Amolo Odinga hated him because they have never met him. But if you met Raila one-on-one, you would go back or out of that room singing his name. That one is for sure. And over the years, we have heard and read about it, that certain communities were indeed recruited to hate Raila Amolo Odinga. It's not a natural hate. It's not a natural hate. It is something that has been instilled in people. It's a fear that was sold to a community X or so and so. So I believe that if they only had the chance to interact with Raila Amolo Odinga, then we would have been reading from a different script today. But again, you know, in my community they say, and my religion, mtu akisha kufa, kama ulikuwa unamchukia, ulikuwa amekukosea, unasamehe. Kama ulikuwa unamchukia, then the person is no longer there. Ameenda na Mwenyezi Mungu. So what is the hate for? You hated Raila Amolo Odinga. Then we want you to see what impact or what Raila Odinga was doing for this country. And I'm telling you right now, there's some of them who are even who are online and saying we wish we wish we voted for Raila Amolo Odinga, because today they would have Mother Karua as a president who would have served for the next 12 years maybe.
Yes.
You understand?
Okay.
So those are some of the things that I mean I know that that is a recruitment that was done, and there is need for unity in this country, there is need for harmony in this country, and there is need for, you know, for communities to continue loving and having that peace that we had. And I know that you know, moving forward, that and I hope that Kenyans will no longer you know, accept the politics of, you know, hatred and kugawanya watu.
Okay.
So I want to comment on something.
Yes.
And I want to comment on the same thing Dr. Manyara was saying, that even when Edwin Sifuna and Honorable Babu Owino have, you know, criticized broad-based or have criticized the government and have refused to join the broad-based government, we have never seen Raila Amolo Odinga saying that we should kick Babu Owino out of the ODM party or Edwin Sifuna of ODM party. Raila has always sorted for a different way, where he wanted to always accommodate everyone who is an ODM member. And we know that Babu Owino has done his part. He has mobilized the young people to join ODM. Myself, I think I wouldn't be in ODM if he did not recruit me. During our times as a student leader, this is someone who has inspired us. We became student leaders, and he has inspired so many young people who are students. Ebu niambie, kama Manyara ni president wa 1.4 million students hai. Over the years, how many of them are graduating and how many of them are coming and going? All of them, they have either seen the leadership of Babu Owino or, you know, have been in school when Babu was a leader, or have been inspired and they've seen what Babu was doing or read about him. And up to date, I can tell you he has a very, very big and major following. And I would really be sad to see that the ODM party, you know, split important and kick out important leaders like Babu Owino. I would tell Babu Owino that yes, your dream is valid. You can be a governor, you can be a president, you can be anything you want in this world, because it's God who anoints leaders. It's not hakuna mtu watu watatu hawezi chagua leaders. So mimi ningemwambia ya kwamba apiganie hiyo ODM party the same way he fought for it when Raila Amolo Odinga was alive, and the ODM party should give them the fair ground to fight for these positions. And you know, you cannot always be a follower. Yes. Wacha pia wao wapatiwe uongozi ya party leadership. Yes. to what they can do different from those we have seen who have been in these leadership positions.
Wow. Interesting. As probably come to the penultimate part of this conversation, probably I'd want us to broaden a bit on Babu Owino, probably because he wants to become the kingpin. And he wanted to inherit Raila Odinga. And Raila Odinga was a king of the Luo land. And as a youth, will that even be easy? And as you tie this question also to what has happened currently about the issue that is dividing Kenyans, and that has been on tribalism, where, and as you understand that there's been a great issue between the Luos and the Kikuyus, who have been divided greatly by the political architecture of our country, that has actually favored politicians by pitting the Luos against the Kikuyus. Will that continue now that a boogeyman has died? Because Raila was used both in Nyanza for people to ascend to presidency, and some also in Mount Kenya, when they say that Raila ni mbaya and sisi tutasaidia so that they ascend also to leadership. So what do you make of a post-Raila leadership, particularly for Babu Owino, and then also as you talk about the Kikuyu law?
First of all, let me emphasize what Neema said.
Yes.
In terms of was Raila hated?
Yes.
Was Raila loved? And what do we make of that? Do still people hate him?
Yeah.
In my own political philosophy, what I believe is that there's a distinct difference between a hater and a critic. Actually, three. A hater, a critic, and a sick person. You know, people who are sick, you can be schizophrenic. You can also be harboring what we call delusions of grandeur. And some people are even depressed. Wakati mwingine mtu anaweza kuchukia tu, amekuona tu na unafanya kazi mzuri na anakuchukia for no reason.
Kumbe ni
depression. This is a critic. In politics, you can never exist and flourish without critics. A hater is someone who hates you for no reason. He can even hunt you and come and kill you, you know, and so forth. Just like the way we saw the likes of Charlie Kirk in the USA. You know, someone can just hate you, come and kill you. A critic will never kill you, but you will always oppose your ideologies, soberly and so forth. So, Raila was loved by all Kenyans. The problem is that they differed with ideologies. Because there is a politician who will go to Mount Kenya and say, nyinyi wote ni wafuasi wangu. Lakini saa hii nimesalimia Raila. Nyinyi wote mtampenda na mlikuwa mmemchukia, this time mtampenda. So generally it's not a matter of the heart, just how we are manipulated to think. So I wanted to clarify that before addressing the issue to do with tribalism before nikuje kwa mambo ya kina Babu. I believe that in Kenya we are in a very beautiful country. We have actually more than 42 tribes. That is colorful. It's like the rainbow. 45. And 45, 45. All this, that is what it makes. That is what makes Raila not to have been jailed until today, because of different aspects, you know, ethos, you know, that kind of diversity. Every voice must count. So, in my opinion, is that tribalism will ultimately end. Do you know why? It's because young people right now, they are not manipulated by tribalism. If you look at social media, people are fighting for causes. Mtu akisikia huyu akona shida, they all come up, different races, they come up for that person. Raila taught us how not to look at where we come from, but where we are headed as a people. What do we envision for the country? First of all, you think about the country before you think about yourself. And that is what also I believe in. Before you put your interests front, what are you doing to help others? And that is the spirit which we are moving towards. In my opinion, tribalism itaisha. Saa hii kuna viongozi wengi sana wanatuchochea kwa kabila zetu. What we call ethnic profiling. You look at you look at useme Ruto akishika hii tribe, haitaji ile tribe ingine na atashinda. That kind of narrative, politics of anything goes, that retrogressive politics of ethnicity, it will end one day, Kwach. I tell you. Me and you will sit down as brothers, intermarried or not. We will talk the same language, defending the flag. All of us looking at a vision whereby this country is not defined by how you look, where you come from. That is where we are headed as a country. Okay. Now, to your last concern, which you said about Babu and the future of this country. What I believe is that a time will come. There is what we call generational expiry. Kila wakati uko na wakati wake. Kama Raila, some of us thought he was immortal, he will never die. Mimi nilikuwa nafikiria anasema yenyewe.
I swear.
Nilikuwa nafikiria yenyewe baba anaenda 6th term, last term. Na tena angefika elections hivi. Nilikuwa nafikiria tena baba atasema 7. And you know, most of us supporters, we didn't care whether he'll win or not. But he was giving us that oomph. You know, selling hope is something very great.
Baba the 7.
Mimi naamkanga asubuhi naambia comrade, leo umeamka njaa, kesho kutakuwa na chakula. When I don't know, utaamka aje. So, in my opinion, Baba gave people hope. Especially people from the lake. They are more aggressive politically more than most of our tribes. And I believe, trust me you, hope is a key thing even to live in life. Because utajua aje kama utaamka kesho. So Baba gave people hope. Whether he won or not. Hata akifanya hizi maandishiki zote, all his followers, they were behind him na walikuwa wanapiga kura. Now what we might have is voter apathy. Young people may not come up to vote, you know, some tribes and so forth, which might work for some political leaders and whatnot. But I believe there are people who are coming up. Sahi hii generation yetu tunaenda, uliuliza Nimo swali moja muhimu sana. Ukamuuliza, do you think what young people are so much online in all these things? I believe you are headed towards a generation that is going to be very conversant with artificial intelligence.
Yes.
And you know, the digital era. Actually, we are calling it the digital era. Itafika mahali actually hata kupiga kura itakuwa ni njicho. Unaangalia hivi, hiyo ni kura umepiga. At the comfort of your home, una tap mara moja hiyo ni vote umepiga. And people won't steal votes. So in my opinion, it will be very easy to make your voice count. So mahali tunaelekea, young people, however how lazy they will be, however, voter apathy will have no place because they will know very well that it is their vote that is changing their lives. In terms of policy, in terms of government initiatives, in terms of influencing their own lives, whether there is progress or not, young people will understand that hata uku upendi siasa, even the very right that you deserve. Unaona wakati Raila alikufa, si kulikuwa na hii mambo ya cybercrime laws zenye zilipitishwa. Now, ungekuwa wewe ni mtu mjinga na upendi siasa, na unatumia simu yako to post and whatnot. If you know your rights will be infringed, why will you not have interest in politics? And the same politics that is influencing bills in parliament, it is the same politics that is influencing
Policies.
even the judiciary, all the laws of the land, the bicameral house, even the constitution itself. You will know that whatever is being passed there is influencing your own life, however little, however minute the influence might be. Thank you.
Wow, quite
Amazing.
interesting. Very, very much interesting. Thank you so much for
The wonderful
time.
insights.
But of course, maybe the last question is because you also happen to be a student leader.
Yes.
And there are a lot of conversations on help and even the lecturer strike. Probably you could give maybe your 2 cents on it, what's happening, what the government is doing on it and so on.
Now, I know very well very many students in this country. They have branded me Mugabe or Museveni of student politics. I have overstayed, that's for a fact. But I wouldn't have overstayed. Why not for their votes? They always vote me in whether I like it or not. It's like mandatory. It's like they are forcing a guillotine on my neck. They want to kill me with, with leadership, with power.
They want to
and
choke
I
you
so
with
much
leadership.
appreciate
Yes.
because I work for them.
Yeah.
And if you're entrusted to be a leader, you must deliver. That is what I've done time and again.
Yeah.
Now, I will just address Kenyans. I will tell them this thing. Today at a press conference at the University of Nairobi, and I make it very categorical. I told students that their fight, their plight is not the same as lecturers. Lecturers come to teach. Students go there to absorb knowledge. Now, students are barometers of wisdom and catheters of knowledge. Now, when they go to the classes or even lecture rooms, they go there as recipients of knowledge from their lecturers. Now, if lecturers are fighting for their own interests of being paid, if students are without food in those lecture rooms, whether the lecturer has been paid or not, it won't matter to a starving student. So I told students not to fight for the cause of lecturers, of them being paid. Abandon that motive. Be fighting for your own plight, which is for you to thrive in school. Because when I was here last time, I said that students in the universities, in the colleges, in the TVET institutions, polytechnics and whatnot, all these institutions of higher learning, most of them are suffering. Some come from very needy and deserving families. They come from the hoi polloi kind of families. And we have seen most of them fry rats, hunt birds, and I told you last time, this is something that is happening in our institutions. Now, me, as their president, whether Mugabe or not, or Museveni or whatnot, my main interest, and which is advocated by my NGO, which is Youth Advocacy Africa, what we fight for is the plight of the common person. We are fighting for people who are voiceless. And students, they don't have a defined voice. Simply because the government, through the Duale bill, they suppressed the voices of students, which was there in 2016. Duale right now, he might be a CS for health. We are not fighting him. But his policies back then, 2016, they changed the lives of young people. Because we have very weak student leaders today. They don't fight for the rights of students. What they do is that they go and cut deals behind the scenes. When they cut those deals, they are not able to represent their students genuinely, with urgency that deserves, and that leaves students suffering, fighting things, and a desperate kind of situation. So what we are fighting right now and what we are advocating for is very simple. We just want the government to be empathetic. We want them to understand that I don't know whether their interest actually is to support education, whether there is a serious bulge of young people being educated. So they might be seeing like if the bulge will increase by educating students. But remember, in Article 43 of the Constitution, it envisions a country whereby there is decent, there is support for education. Okay. If you look at the African Union Agenda 2063, it's also advocating for education. The architectural blueprint by Moi Kibaki, Vision 2030, also advocating for education. We look at the Sustainable Development Goals, number 4, quality education, not just education, quality. Okay. So as I pen off, I will just tell comrades not to give up. Okay. You cannot pickpocket a naked man. Right now, they have nothing. Okay. They have been treated as second-class citizens. Yes. And we are coming to say that whether we support this government or not, our main interest is not political issues. Okay. We just want students to be paid. And that will be applied to the very end. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You have a parting shot?
Yes, my parting shot today was this interview was mainly about Raila Amolo Odinga, and I want to take this time to say thank you, Baba, for inviting us next to you, for educating us, for mentoring us, for fighting for our country, Kenya. Baba was a tribeless man. He never. I have personally never felt that I'm out of place next to him. I never felt that I'm a Muslim and these people are not. I never felt discriminated. I felt safe around Baba, and I know he was someone who carried a lot of people's burden on his back. And now that he is gone, a lot of us are political orphans. We have even Junaid Mohammed as a member of parliament in Migori because of Raila Amolo Odinga. This is the what Raila has envisioned. A Kenya where, Otieno will go to Wajir County and become a member of parliament. A Kenya where Mohammed is a member of parliament on the other side, because Kenya is ours. Our country comes first, and Kenya is for all the 42 tribes that are here. And we should put our country forward always. So I want to say, Raila Odinga, the Right Honorable Raila Odinga, we will miss you. We loved you, Baba, but God loved you more. And we pray that you rest in peace. And moving forward, of course, we are going to support the government you left us in. And we are going to support the agendas you left us with. And we are going to carry Baba's legacy moving forward. And we want to pray and tell the next leader who is going to take over ODM or who is going to sahi tuko bread boss, hawezi jua hata Ruto anaweza ingia ODM kesho. So tunataka kuomba the next leader, sisi kama young people, he must include young people in his government, and he must ensure that everyone is represented, and he must make sure what Raila has fought for is included until the last minute.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes,
think we have consulted with very many young people, and we have agreed unanimously that we need to honor Raila Odinga as a country in the best manner possible, because we honored the people who have fought for a better country, the likes of Jomo Kenyatta, the likes of who else?
Odinga,
all these people.
Yes.
We have unanimously agreed upon that Raila Odinga should be immortalized by having Maseno University converted to Raila Odinga University. Another option is that we can have Raila Odinga Memorial Library. That is one of the key things. Also, we thought as young people, we will be able to petition to the National Assembly to see whether they can change that policy to accommodate that. And then also we thought about, if at all in this country, Raila Odinga can be able to be included in the curriculum so that young people, even the future generations, they will be able to read about him. That is one of the key things. The last point is that I wanted to tell the government, and this one I have to be very categorical, that you cannot stop diarrhea by stitching the anus. You will never. What I mean is that young people, they are so much furious. And what they are fighting for is a better life. And that is what we expect at the end of the day. For them, we need better policies. We need how we can be able to absorb, to incorporate, inclusion. There are so many, there's the plight of young people. And as we continue, the numbers are getting big. Very many people are graduating from our universities, all the institutions. The government has no clear plan. And yet, they don't want to incorporate. People who have ideas on how to change that norm. Some of them like us. Now, in my own opinion, it is time that they understand that what they are looking at is a time bomb. Na itafika point ambayo these young people, I don't want to contemplate, I don't want to describe the kind of situation that there will be. But what I'm just saying is that there is need to have a candid solution for young people in this country to avoid the desperation, to avoid all the problems that we are having currently. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I don't know, you agreed with who to change Maseno to Raila Odinga University?
We have consulted as my consortium of the organization I lead, Youth Advocacy Africa, also with the student leaders whom I proudly lead across the country.
So where are you going to take that next?
We have thought. Sometimes people were saying that Technical University of Kenya should be changed to Raila Odinga University. But we have seen in Nairobi, which is the capital city, we have Kenyatta University, we have Jomo Kenyatta University. Now in Maseno, which is the other city, the other city is Kisumu. We have thought it wise. Maseno University should be changed to Raila Odinga University for it to work. And then the University of Nairobi, or even Technical University of Kenya, we can have now a memorial library, just like the way. A guy who wrote the foreword in Raila Odinga Flame of Freedom is Olusegun Obasanjo. If you go to Aboekuta in Nigeria, you realize that he has a presidential library. We want the same fashion. We have a presidential library in Nairobi, in the name of Raila Odinga, and then we have a university changed in Kisumu, Maseno University to Raila Odinga University. Alternatively, in my own opinion, now these are my own thoughts. where we have Kisumu Airport, we can have Raila Odinga Airport. Just like the way we have JKA. That's a
Jomo
very
Kenyatta.
noble idea.
Or we could change UN to Raila Odinga.
No. The university is where Raila hapo ndio alisomea, hatuwezi badilisha hiyo.
So the University of Nairobi cannot be the
The University
The-
of Nairobi is the only university.
The
South
article
of,
V.
yeah, north
Well,
of
you can't
Rivali.
have the University of Raila Odinga.
Skia, it is called The. It is the only university starting with a definite capital The.
Okay.
It is the only university, the greatest university south of Sahara,
Okay.
north of Rivali Pompo.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Daktari,
Yes.
Anthony Manyara,
Yeah.
and of course the beautiful lady joining us for this conversation,
Neema Sheikh.
Neema
Abdiqadir.
Sheikh. Thank you so much, Abdiqadir, for also for joining this conversation. Neema Sheikh is the vice chair
The Commonwealth Youth Council.
of the Commonwealth
Youth
Council.
Council.
Thank you so much.
Jumuiya ya Mandola.
Yes, Jumuiya Mandala.
Naibu mwenyekiti baraza la vijana
Yeah.
Jumuiya ya Madola.
Pesa ni mingi.
Pesa otas.
Thank you so much. My name is Eugene Kwach.
Yeah.
This has been the Power Table, and it has been a great conversation. Thank you, and see you next time.